Hi, welcome to another educational video about screen printing by Catspit Productions. Today I wanted to introduce you to roller frames and show you one of the more commercial ways to stretch a roller frame. Now, a roller frame, if you guys don't know what it is, it's one of these type of frames here, and as you can see it's all wobbly. That's because this screen actually incorporates the stretching device into the frame itself. So that means that we don't need a stretching device to stretch mesh on this screen. We use the frame itself. And a lot of people use a couple of wrenches and just do it on a tabletop, but you can get this type of unit if you like for a shop that would have to stretch a lot of these in one day. This unit is called a Sherlock Unit, and it enables you to set your roller frame down in this jig and use what's called a Sherlock insert. This is a Sherlock panel. Okay, and this is designed to snap right in to the screen. Okay, give me a second here to get those little things under the lip. There's a little plastic edge on here that will, if you can get it in the thing, okay, so you snap them into the edges of the roller frame, okay? And it's basically an insert like this one, and it's got these plastic edges on it, and they're designed to fit in the grooves of the roller frame, okay? And now, like I said, a lot of people will do this on a tabletop. But this jig is awesome because what it allows you to do is you set the roller frame down into the jig, you put your Sherlock panel in, and you grab these nice wrenches that come with the unit, and you take one of these down like this, and you're going to lock it in. Then the table rotates, and you're going to do it to the other side. Okay? So you take this, get it on here, and put it in such a position that you can pull it down appropriately to what you want to do, to the tension that you want to go for the first on each side. Then you would go to this side. You know, you have to look and see where it's going to bite so you can pull it down as far as you want. Lock it in with this little lock. Move to the other side and bring this one down. Lock it in. And this way you can actually stretch. I mean, obviously that's it. I mean, that's it. The screen's stretched. But what we would do is we would bring it up to the tension that we want with our Newton meter, our tension meter, and we would check the tension, and then we might let it sit here for 15, 20 minutes, maybe an hour, and let the mesh relax. And then we'll come and crank it up again, back up to tension. Okay? Some people will actually do this, lock it in, tighten the bolts, because once the insert is stretched to tension, you take one of these socket wrenches and you're going to tighten the bolts at the end. Okay? There's a little bolt right here on each end, on each side, and you can tighten them, and what it does is it locks the bars into place so that it stays locked and it won't relax. Okay, so these screens are actually really good. They're very expensive. Roller frames tend to be a lot more expensive than regular static metal frames or wood frames because they're a lot more heavy duty. And keep in mind that a roller frame is really heavy. So, it may not be the best frame for a manual press, but as far as stretching equipment and stuff like that, a lot of smaller shops use the roller frames because of the ease of which they stretch. And you don't have to use this Sherlock unit or the Sherlock insert. You don't have to use that. The roller frame actually comes with these plastic strips that slide through, so you can cut a piece of any old mesh out, put it on there, slide these strips through, and then can go ahead and proceed to stretch it with a couple of wrenches, holding, the tabletop method with a couple of wrenches is a little sketchy. I don't like it. I'm fortunate enough to have access to pretty cool equipment. So when I use a roller frame, I'll just go ahead and stretch it on here. However, there are instances where I will stretch a roller frame by hand on a tabletop because, for instance, I have an oversized roller frame that we're going to use to show you guys how to do a stretching glue, where we're going to use an oversized frame to stretch two smaller frames. And that's a roller frame. And we're going to use that roller frame, but it doesn't fit in this jig. Okay, so we're going to put it on the table and we're going to show you how that's done eventually. That video is in the works. It's a little complicated, so we'll get to it eventually, and we'll post that. And you'll get to see how you can actually use an oversized roller frame to stretch your static aluminum frames, or even static wood frames is what we're going to use in the demo, because that's what we have lying around. Okay? So anyway, this is a really cool unit, like I said, very cool. At this point, after your mesh is all stretched and tight, you would lock the bolts on each bar and take it out of the jig, and you'd be ready to go. Whether you want to take it out of the jig to let the mesh relax or leave it in the jig, that would all depend on your shop and your volume as far as what works best for you to maximize the production output of your Sherlock jig.
Okay, so this is the close-up of the jig. Here's the two bolts on each end. There's one on each end that you use to tighten the bar so that the mesh will not relax. Here's the wrench that attaches to this giant nut that's on the end of each bar and goes through the jig, and this is the little pin here that you use to hold it in place. Okay, and you can go around and see it's the same setup on each one. So these are the bolts that hold the thing. There's your jigs, and it has extra places. This unit can actually be configured to do roller frames that have square bars, which are designed to go into rear mounting bracket type presses. So okay, so there it is, the Sherlock unit. And this is the bar here for the square bar frames, which you use a different configuration of these jigs on the table to do that.
Okay, so guys, remember to visit the website. Please rate 5 stars. All your comments are appreciated. I really enjoy those. All the questions that you leave, I answer. So feel free to ask questions in the comments. Just give me some time, and I will always respond to those. All right, and until next time, rate 5 stars, and please subscribe.